What up, folks? It's your boy Trails, and we back with another one. And I'm feeling a little under the weather right now, so I'm gonna bring you this drone over New Jersey update, and then we got multiple segments to look at here. First and foremost, we're gonna go ahead and start with this one: growing number of unexplained drone sightings in the New York City area. All right, let's go ahead and see what this we're talking about.
Of drone sightings in their communities following a wave of mysterious drone appearances in the skies over New Jersey. This is sparking significant concern among residents and local and state leaders. The White House and the FBI says there is no evidence that the drones pose a national security threat or have a foreign connection, but that's only adding to the confusion. So far, there are no explanations as to what they are, where they're coming from, or who is launching them. For weeks now, the drones have been spotted over homes, critical infrastructure, and sensitive government sites. Today, frustrated lawmakers have gone from asking questions to demanding answers.
New Jersey can't become the Wild West of drone activity. No state can become the Wild West of drone activity. I've made this very clear to the FBI, to Homeland Security, and the FAA, the agencies chiefly responsible for monitoring drone activity. They must immediately disclose more information to the public. It's totally and completely unacceptable that you have.
But the question that I have about this is nobody's taking responsibility. They're acting like they don't know where these things are coming from. When the question is, okay, if we audit these government organizations, will money come up that has funded the creation of these drones to create this hysteria, to create not only legislation that adds more control over the airspace, which seems like this is an attempt to do, but it also just creates more farmable content throughout the world with the speculation and the attention. Because, and also, what about the company that's about to drop Archer Aviation that's supposed to be flying people around? Is this some type of method to get them under control with the airspace to prevent, I mean, the flying cars that are about to drop? Because we got flying cars that are about to come out, if you do not know. And there's a lot of big money people who are putting their stock into Archer Aviation as we speak now. So, is this some type of effort to thwart not only, like, it seems like this has multiple usage of control, pretty much. All right, let's let it continue.
That you have all this drone activity going on that people are seeing with their own eyes. The fact that the federal agencies responsible for briefing the public have not come forward in a clear way is unacceptable. There has to be some explanation to the public for all this increased activity, and they must do so now.
Let's discuss these mysterious drones with former FBI Supervisory Special Agent Tom Adams. He actually helped pioneer the FBI's counter-drone program used to respond to threats from unmanned aircraft. Thank you so much for being with us, Tom. First off, what do you think is behind these drones? Do you think it's more likely to be some kind of concerted surveillance effort, an issue of misidentification, or copycats?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I think we're looking at a few different things. First, I do believe that there are probably some legitimate visual drone sightings by alert.
And I'll say that as well. Do not get it confused. There might be a situation here and there where, you know, there's an anomaly, but I guarantee most of these are not only just airplanes and hysteria, but like he was going to say, copycats and so forth. And the more that happens, the more it discredits when actual real things are saw. It's like a the boy who cried wolf scenario that the whole country is taking a part of, over whooping the situation.
Alert residents and law enforcement in New Jersey. Now, what these drones may be doing, if they're nefarious or not, we don't know. Are or not following FAA rules and regulations? That's up for debate. I think we're probably seeing some copycat drones flying up in the air with all the media attention. So we're seeing a combination of that. And I do also agree with the DOJ or the FBI and DHS assessment that some of these blinking lights in the sky are actually crewed aircraft that are navigating the airspace. During many operations that I was involved with, as well as investigations into suspected drone sightings at critical infrastructure, it was common for things like planets, believe it or not, low Earth orbit satellites and crewed aircraft to sometimes be misidentified. But I think the big point here that we're seeing is that the vulnerability is being demonstrated that current federal laws and regulations really limit the types of tools and technologies that owners and operators of critical infrastructure can deploy, as well as state and local law enforcement. So we haven't had any meaningful counter-UAS legislation since 2018. So I think we're well past due for lawmakers in Congress to get to work and to shore up some of those vulnerabilities that we have.
I want you to.
So they create the vulnerabilities by making the drones, flying them around, showing how weak the infrastructure that they built is to come back and create a stronger infrastructure that has more control, more spying on the people, more unconstitutionality occurring. See, this is what this is all about. See, this is an attempt for them to have multiple uses with this situation for them to gain. Now you get more of their drones. Now you got counter drones in the sky everywhere. You got all of this because of the fear and hysteria is to bring it up, not to mention the 2018 act that is ending December 20th. And now the FAA has to come up with the whole new legislation when it comes to flying already anyway. So how convenient, right?
I want you to expand on that, but first I'm curious about how officials can make the determination that there isn't a public safety threat if they don't actually know whether some of these drones may be nefarious or not, or conducting nefarious activity.
Yeah, so you can't look at a drone or a blinking light in the sky and really determine whether it is or is not a threat. I think that some of these suspected sightings, when you look at some of the videos, they look like smaller drones, or they potentially look like crewed aircraft that may be landing at nearby airports. I mean, that area and corridor of the East Coast is full of aircraft flying up and down the East Coast to major airports and to Europe and beyond. So, aside from any specific threat information or specific identification of drones or where they may be coming from, I don't think you can really say that they're a threat. So I think there's still a lot of information gathering to be done so we can get some definitive answers.
And that's where I disagree, because I believe they are a threat, because they're a threat to the taxpayer money, because this is exactly what they're going to use to attack that taxpayer money. The hysteria of this. Hey, problem, reaction, solution. I say it all the time. They create the problem, they wait for the outrage and the reaction, and now the whole country is like, oh my God, this is a threat. And it seems like it didn't get the message. And so now when you go look at the news, what do you see? Oh, now they're flying over military installations, right? And that's one thing that you got to look out for. It's just trickery and brainwashing. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this one.
About a week ago, I started seeing them more on a daily basis, mainly just like a white light that would sit in a place and then after a few minutes move left to right, up and down, just these very slow motions, and then they would just go away. It didn't concern me at first. I just didn't think anything of it until it started becoming like every night, the same time, same places. So I figured, okay, they must be doing some kind of military drill. Not that I went to go look to see if they were, I just figured that's what they were doing. And then once they came out and said that they're not, and they don't know what they are, and they're not foreign, but they're not ours, and they don't pose a threat, that's when it becomes concerning.
I've seen clusters. Last night I saw clusters of about 8 up over here, and but normally I see them a little spread out, and they're sporadic. Some of them illuminate a bright light. Some of them, when you see them on the side profile flying, you can see the red-green lights. But the difference is, even though airlines have that lighting, the way it lights and the brightness is different. And you also have sometimes LED lights. They looks like LED lights under the underbelly of the aircraft, which you don't see on a commercial airliner like that. And with the naked eye, the video doesn't really do justice. But when you look at what I'm seeing with the naked eye, you can see it's not a normal aircraft. And we don't have this much, traffic, usually on any given night in this area. So it seems like definitely some of them are aircraft that we can't explain what they are.
So yeah, they're sold. And
it starts with a battery
system, one
that's made for the outdoors. The Echo E-Force battery.
Once they came out and did what, told them that it wasn't them, which was a lie, that's when it became concerning because, they were lying. It's not like they're going to come out and tell you the truth, right? And be like, yeah, we're sorry, that's us. We need more money. We need more flight restrictions. We need more government control. Can you guys just please give us more money? Hey, we did get $11 billion. We only put $500,000 into our counter program. So can you give us another $2 billion for that? All right, let's go ahead and see what this guy's talking about when it comes to the drone mystery.
Officials had to close the airspace over the base for hours. It comes after small drones were spotted flying overhead. Now, we've reported on drone sightings like this all across the country. News Center 7's Mason Fletcher, live for us outside the base. We've seen a lot of reaction to this, Mason, on social media.
Yeah, that's right, Nick, and it's been a lot of concern from people seeing the news as they're scrolling through. This all started in New Jersey, but it's been spreading all over the country, including right here in Dayton at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are now investigating.
All the way in Dayton over an airport, over an Army base, but why not over my house way in Minnesota, right? Because it's supposed to be over there and there. It serves no other purpose of threat, importance, or danger unless it's going over the base. And then now when you see it, you're going to see a whole bunch of news and spam with, oh my God, all of these drones are going over bases. Oh, national security. We need more countermeasures. We need more money. This is becoming more of a threat. We are under attack. And that's the hysteria that goes right into your wallet. And people fall for this all the time. I don't get it, man. I mean, I gotta be the only one. I mean, I can't be the only one who see this, right?
Investigating after receiving thousands of tips on the sightings, although they say less than 100 are actually credible. We reached out to Wright-Patterson after their sighting over the weekend. Base officials say the airspace was blocked for 4 hours late Friday night into Saturday morning because of a group of small drones. Some residents we spoke to are concerned about this being in the Miami Valley.
Like, obviously that's a big concern for national security, is like you have these FPV drones, people can just...
I didn't even watch this yet. Yeah, just like I said, and it's pre-programmed to brainwash it to everybody. Oh, national security. Give them more money. National security.
Just fly them around in unrestricted airspace and...
Why is the airspace restricted? Shouldn't you be able to fly around whatever you want? Right? If you pay taxes and all that for everything, who gets to control what and where and when it's flown? And why does someone else get to be the arbiter of that for everyone else? Right?
Base officials say they are still monitoring the airspace. As for us, we'll be monitoring the situation as well and providing you guys updates every step of the way, both on air and on our website, WHIO.com. For now, live in Dayton this morning, Mason Fletcher, News Center 7.
Turning into be a major issue, Mason.
Yeah, and that's what they want it to be, a major issue.
It's going to be perfect.
Well, what's going on?
And another thing I absolutely...
And that's what they want, folks. They want a major issue to occur, because then when you got that major issue, it only means major money, your major money. You know, forget the allocation of all the billions of dollars put into NASA for looking for aliens and all that. You know, hey, now we need them for drones and all of this. Let's hear that giant sucking sound of cash. And see that UFO over there that just flew? Yeah. Oh, straight to the bank. And people fall for it every time. But like I said, I'm under the weather, so I'm going to go ahead and end this now. But what I think about this situation is people are over whooping. There's people also adding to it by bringing out their drones too. You know, looks like all the big drones bringing all their drones to the yard. And it's just creating more hysteria, and people need to chill. And I don't know, maybe start looking back in your phone again or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, like I said, that's it for this one. Make sure you hit that like and sub. Let me know what you think about the video, what you think about this situation. Am I capping? Is it real? Are there really aliens and all that junk? Thanks for watching. And like always, you know what it is. Deuces.